Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Journey with Vijay Kumar Srivastav. Today we are going to study the topic Rural Development Government Schemes. Before presentation I would like to give little introduction about myself. I am Vijay Kumar Srivastav. I have done MSc Agriculture with specialization in agronomy from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar in 1996 and presently associated with seed industry. So let's move to the presentation. First we will go through minimum needs program. The minimum needs program was introduced in the first year of the fifth five-year plan, which was for the period 1974 to 78, to provide certain basic minimum needs and improve the living standards of people. The concept of minimum needs accepts the view that there is some nationally accepted norms of social services which should be provided to all classes of people within a time-bound program. The provision of free or subsidized services through public agencies is expected to improve the consumption levels of those below the poverty line. The fifth plan therefore introduced a minimum needs program with the different components like first one, elementary and adult education, second, rural health, third, rural water supply, fourth, rural roads, fifth, rural electrification, sixth, housing assistance to rural landless laborers, seventh, environmental improvement of urban slums, and eighth, nutrition. नेक्स्ट वी विल गो थ्रू 20 पॉइंट्स प्रोग्राम, जिसे हम 20 सूत्रीय प्रोग्राम भी बोलते हैं. द 20 पॉइंट इकोनॉमिक प्रोग्राम वाज अनाउंस्ड on 1st July 1975. This program has three particular aims, which are first to ensure social justice, second to relieve unemployment, and third to eradicate poverty. Under this program, priority areas were identified which required positive and immediate action. The 20-point program didn't replace or supplant the fifth plan. It only assigned a special assistance to limited number of urgent programs for economic and social reform, which didn't disturb the basic priorities of the plan. Many of the items of the 20-point program fall within the purview of state sector. Next program is Food for Work program. The program was launched in April 1977. And the program having aims first generation of additional employment opportunities in rural areas, and second creation of durable community assets which would strengthen the rural infrastructure. The workers were paid in food grains for the job performed by them. Next one is Integrated Rural Development Program, IRDP. To alleviate rural poverty, Integrated Rural Development Program IRDP was launched in 1978-79, which was a major instrument of the government strategy. The main objectives of IRDP were to raise families of the identified target group above poverty line, and second, to create substantial additional opportunities of self-employment in the rural sector. This program was centrally sponsored with funds shared on 50 by 50% basis between the center and the state. In the case of union territories, whole funds are provided by the central government. The program is being implemented through District Rural Development Agency and block level functionaries at the grassroots. At the state level, a coordination committee headed by Chief Secretary monitor its overall implementation. And the target group of Integrated Rural Development Program were the poorest of the rural poor, small and marginal farmers, agricultural and non-agricultural laborers, rural artisans and craftsmen, and scheduled caste SC and scheduled tribes ST families who live below the poverty line. Next is Training to Rural Youth for Self-Employment, TRISEM. This centrally sponsored program was started on 15th August 1979, and the main target of this scheme was to provide technical and business expertise to rural BPL below poverty level people who are in the age group of 18 to 35. This program has been merged with Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana on April 1st, 1999. Now, National Rural Employment Program NREP. The Food for Work program was restructured and renamed as National Rural Employment Program in October 1980. This is being implemented as centrally sponsored program, and its expenditure was shared by the center and the state on 50% basis. Additional employment of the order of 300 to 400 million mandates per year for the unemployed and underemployed was envisaged under the NREP. The program aims to create community assets like drinking water wells, community irrigation wells, village tanks, minor irrigation works, rural roads, schools, panchayat buildings, etc. for strengthening rural infrastructure. And the important objectives were to provide opportunities which aims to provide food to all citizens, and second, planned utilization of manpower for economic development, and third, an efficient public distribution system for the essential commodities required by the poor was also emphasized. Next program, Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program RLEGP. The Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program was launched on 15th August 1983. The objectives of Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program were generating gainful employment, creating productive assets in rural areas, and improving the overall quality of rural life. This was a centrally sponsored program. This was funded by the central government on cent percent basis. Resources were allocated to the states and union territories on the basis of prescribed criteria. And the provision of resource allocation was 50% resources allocation to agricultural laborers, and marginal workers, and remaining 50% weightage to incidence of property. Next program is Development of Women and Children in Rural Areas, DWCRA. The program was launched in 1982-83. The primary objective of focusing attention on the women members of the rural families below the poverty line. This program aimed at providing opportunities of self-employment through training on home-based production and marketing on sustained basis. Under the scheme, 10 to 15 women members belong to family below poverty line can form a DWCRA group. These groups are provided with a revolving fund of 15,000 rupees to take up group income generating activities. The Government of India has enhanced the amount of revolving funds to 25,000 rupees to outstanding groups. The formations of DWCRA groups have revised. Under the new provision, Center, State and UNICEF will fund the groups so formed in the districts in the ratio 40 by 40 by 20 basis. To supplement government efforts, the participation of non-government organizations, NGOs, was also required. The NGOs are required to implement projects for providing employment opportunities to rural women. 26 NGOs in the state identified under the scheme, and Government of India has started 2 new programs in 1995 to 1996. Next program was Self-Employment for the Educated Unemployed Youths. This program was launched in 1983-84. The objective of the scheme is to encourage the educated unemployed youth to undertake self-employment ventures in industry, services, and business through a provision of a package of assistance. The scheme was expected to cover all educated unemployed youths who have passed HSC and above non-matric with ITI within the age group of 18 to 35 years. The women and technically trained personnel are required to be given due weightage. Next program is Indira Awas Yojana. The genesis of the Indira Awas Yojana can be traced to the programs of rural employment which began in the early 1980s. Construction of houses was one of the major activities under the National Rural Employment Program which began in 1980 and the Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program which began in 1983. Indira Awas Yojana was launched in May 1985. This program aimed at providing fireproof shelter at free of cost to the rural poor living below the poverty line. The houses are built by the beneficiaries within the prescribed ceiling limit under the supervision of the technical personnel of the block. The beneficiaries are permitted to build such houses on their own house sites in existing habitations. Indira Awas Yojana was launched during 1985 as a sub-scheme of Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program RLEGP. Indira Awas Yojana thereafter continued as a sub-scheme of Jawahar Rozgar Yojana since its launching in April 1989. 6% of the total Jawahar Rozgar Yojana fund were allocated for implementation of Indira Awas Yojana. From the year 1993-1994, the scope of Indira Awas Yojana was extended to cover non-scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, below the poverty line families in the rural areas. Simultaneously, the allocation of funds for implementing the scheme was raised from 6% to 10% of the total resources available under Jawahar Rozgar Yojana at national level, subject to the condition that the benefits to non-scheduled caste, scheduled tribes poor should not exceed 4% of the total Jawahar Rozgar Yojana allocation. Indira Awas Yojana has now been delinked from Jawahar Rozgar Yojana and has been made an independent scheme with effect from 1st January 1996. The objective of Indira Awas Yojana is primarily to help construction of dwelling units by members of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, freed bonded laborers and also non-SC/ST rural poor below the poverty line by providing them with grant in aid. And the target group of Indira Awas Yojana, the houses under Indira Awas Yojana is people below poverty line living in rural areas belonging to scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, freed bonded laborers and non-SC/ST categories. A maximum of 40% of the total Indira Awas Yojana allocation during a financial year can be utilized for construction of dwelling units for non-SC/ST and below poverty level categories. Next program is Integrated Rural Energy Planning Program IREP. The Integrated Rural Energy Planning Program has been in operation in selected blocks since 1986-87. The important objective of the program is to develop planning and institutional capacity in the state for preparing and implementing area-based integrated rural energy plans and programs through which the maximum inputs of all types of energy sources are to be provided for meeting subsistence and productive needs of the area. The IREP is a centrally sponsored scheme. Government of India Planning Commission provides financial assistance for infrastructure and state government allocates funds for implementation of various renewable energy development schemes. The important schemes under the program are installation and supply of biogas, improved chulha, solar photovoltaic SPV lighting systems and pumps, energy plantations, solar water heating systems, windmill, micro handle, solar distillation and cooker, leaf stitching machine and leaf cup machines, and solenoid operated valves, SOV operated TVs. Next program is Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. This program for rural employment was launched from 1st April 1989. All the ongoing rural wages employment programs like National Rural Employment Program and Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program RLEGP merged into the Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. This Yojana having two objectives. First one is primary objective, generation of additional gainful employment for unemployed and semi-unemployed person in rural areas. And secondary objectives, creation of productive community assets through which poor persons were benefited directly and continuously. Second, strengthening rural socio-economic infrastructure so that village economy could develop rapidly and level of income of the rural poor is increased continually. And third, bringing qualitative improvement in the life of rural people. Next one is Kutir Jyoti program. This program was launched in 1988-89. Its main motive was to improve the standard of living of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, including the rural families who lie below the poverty line. Under this program, a government assistance of 400 rupees is provided to the families who are living below the poverty line for single point electricity connections in their houses. Next one is Employment Assurance Scheme. This program was started on 2nd October 1993 for providing relief to the poor persons in rural areas. Next one, National Old Age Pension Scheme. This was one of the three schemes under the National Social Assistance Program introduced by the Government of India as a central sector program on 15th August 1995. The main objectives of National Old Age Pension Scheme to provide social assistance and security through old age pension to the poorest of the poor of the rural and urban population, and persons aged 65 years or above who belonged to a family falling in A category of the BPL list were eligible for assistance under the scheme. Next one is National Social Assistance Program. The scheme was launched on 15th August 1995. National Social Assistance Program signifies the fulfillment of directive principles in Article 41 and 42 of the Constitution, which states that it is the duty of the state to provide assistance to the citizens in terms of sickness, unemployment, old age in limits of the economic capabilities. It is basically a centrally sponsored scheme of Government of India which provides financially help to widows, elderly people and people with disability in form of pensions. At present, National Social Assistance Program includes 5 sub-schemes as its component, like first one Indira Gandhi National Old Age Pension Scheme, second Indira Gandhi National Widow Pension Scheme, third is Indira Gandhi National Disability Pension Scheme, fourth National Family Benefit Schemes, and fifth Annapurna Scheme. Jawahar Gram Samriddhi Yojana. Jawahar Rozgar Yojana had been restructured as Jawahar Gram Samriddhi Yojana and streamlined with effect from April 99. The primary objective of the Yojana was creation of demand-driven village infrastructure, including durable assets at the village level to enable the rural poor to increase the opportunities for sustained employment. And secondary objective, generation of supplementary employment for the unemployed poor in the rural areas. The wage employment under the program was given to below poverty level families. Next program is Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana. This is centrally sponsored yojana launched by the Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India on 1st April 1999 by restructuring the following existing schemes. First one, Integrated Rural Development Program IRDP. Second, Training of Rural Youth for Self-Employment TRISEM. Development of Women and Children in Rural Areas DWCRA. Fourth, Supply of Improved Toolkits to Rural Artisans SITRA. Ganga Kalyan Yojana GKY and Millions Wells Scheme MWS. This scheme basically emphasizes on self-employment and covers all aspects of self-employment like capacity building, subsidy and infrastructure facility and credit, skill upgradation, insurance and marketing. The objectives of Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana: first, to provide credit for the promotion of agriculture, allied activities, small scale industries including cottage industry, village industries, handicrafts and other rural crafts and allied activities in rural areas with a view to promote the integrated rural development and securing prosperity in rural areas. Second, NABARD Bank, which was earlier ARDC, provides refinance facility to the same since 1978-79. The new scheme was to cover 30% of the poor in each block in the next 5 years. And fourth, every assisted family is to be brought above the poverty line in 3 years. The target group of Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, the families below the poverty line in rural areas, constitute the target group of this program. Within the target group, special safeguards have been provided to vulnerable sections by way of reserving 50% benefits for SC/ST and 40% for women and 3% for disabled persons. Next one is Annapurna Yojana. The scheme had been launched from April 2000 and it was 100% centrally sponsored scheme. The main objective of the scheme was to provide food security to those senior citizens who were eligible under the National Old Age Pension Scheme but had remained uncovered by it. This scheme was applicable to both urban and rural areas. Provision of 10 kg of food free of cost to each beneficiary and distribution of entitlement cards to the beneficiaries were the main features. Now, Antyodaya Ann Yojana. The scheme was launched by the Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on the 25th December 2000. The scheme provides food grains to around 2 crore below poverty line families at a very subsidized rate. Total 35 kg of food grains is provided to a family. Rice was provided at the rate of 3 rupees per kg and wheat at the rate 2 rupees per kg. Next program is Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. Government had launched the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana on 25th December 2000 to connect every village with a population of exceeding 1000 by all weather roads and maintenance of rural roads constructed under this scheme by the local panchayats with the help of state government fund. The Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is a 100% centrally sponsored scheme. After the recommendation of 14th Finance Commission report, now expenditure will be shared by the center and state at the ratio of 60-40. Rural road connectivity is not only a key component of rural development by promoting access to economic and social services and thereby generating increased agricultural incomes and productive employment opportunities in India. It is also a key ingredient in ensuring sustainable poverty reduction. The Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana will permit the upgradation of the existing roads in those districts where all the eligible habitations of the designated population size have been provided all-weather road connectivity. However, it must be noted that upgradation is not central to the program and cannot exceed 20% of the state's allocation as long as eligible unconnected habitations in the state still exists. Now, Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. The Yojana was launched by Government of India on 25th September 2001. The objective of this scheme to provide additional and supplementary wage employment in the rural area, to provide food security and improve nutritional levels in all rural areas of our country. Under this scheme, the government provides wages and food grains to those who live below the poverty line, and creation of durable community, social and economic assets and infrastructural development in rural areas is a secondary objective of Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan has been operational since 2001. Its main aim is to make free and compulsory education to children between the ages of 6 to 14 a fundamental right. This program was pioneered by former Indian Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Right to education is related to the 86th Amendment to the Constitution of India. Its expenditure is shared by the center and state into the ratio of 50% basis. Next is Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. This was a centrally sponsored scheme into which two schemes, namely Employment Assurance Scheme and Jawahar Gram Samriddhi Yojana, administered by the Panchayats and Rural Development Department, had been merged with effect from 2001-2002. Next program, Bharat Nirman Program. This program was launched by the Union Government on 16th May 2005, and the objective of this program was to change the face of rural India. 6 key areas were identified under this plan, which were: first, irrigation, to bring an additional 10 million hectares area under irrigation; second, roads, to connect all the villages that had a population of 1000 in plain area or 500 in hilly areas with a metalled road; third is drinking water, to provide drinking water to the remaining 74,000 villages by 2009; and fourth, housing, to construct 60 lakhs additional houses for poor free of cost; fifth, electricity, to provide electricity connections to 1,25,000 villages and 2 to 3 crore households; sixth, telephones, to provide telephone connections into 6,800 villages which were having no telephone till then. Next one is provision of urban amenities in rural areas, PURA. PURA is a strategy for rural development in India which was proposed by former President APJ Abdul Kalam in January 2003 as a way of empowering and accelerating rural development. PURA proposes that urban infrastructure and services should be provided in rural areas to create opportunities outside the cities. This will also prevent the migration of youth from the rural areas to urban areas. Ministry of Rural Development implemented this scheme on a pilot basis in 7 clusters for a period of 3 years 2004, 2005 to 2006 and 2007. Pura version 2 as a central sector scheme was launched in 2012, focusing on the development of potential growth centers such as census towns. In 2014-15, the government made no allocation to the provision of urban amenities in rural areas program and instead introduced the R Urban Mission with an initial allocation of 100 crore. Village Gramin Bank Scheme. This scheme was implemented in November 2004 by the Department of Food and Public Distribution. Main objective of this scheme was to provide safeguard against the starvation during the period of natural calamity or during lean season when the marginalized food insecure households do not have sufficient resources to purchase rations. Under this scheme, needy people will be able to borrow food grains from the village Gramin Bank and return it when they have abundant food. Now, one of the important program, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, Manrega. This scheme was initially launched as National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, NREGA, in 2005. The Parliament passed the NREGA in 2005 and this act became operative in notified districts in the first phase from 2nd February 2006 as a momentous initiative towards pro-poor growth, and within 5 years it has covered the whole country. The act was first proposed in 1991 by P.V. Narasimha Rao and this was introduced by Raghuvansh Prasad Singh, who was Minister of Rural Development. From 2009, the Act, National Rural Employment Guarantee Act (NREGA) was renamed as Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act (MNREGA). The aim of the scheme. This scheme is an Indian labor law and social security measure that aims to provide right to work to the people falling below poverty line. This act guarantees 100 days of wage employment in a year to every rural household adults members who are willing to do unskilled manual work. For the first time, rural communities have been given not just a development program but also a regime of rights. 50% workers should be women. Its 90% funding is borne by the central government and 10% by the state government. Manrega program work guarantee also serve other objectives like generating productive assets and skill, thereby boosting the rural economy, protecting the environment, empowering rural women, reducing rural urban migration, and fostering social equity among others. The Act offers an opportunity to strengthen our democratic processes by entrusting principal role to panchayats at all levels in its implementation and promises transparency through involvement of community at planning and monitoring stages. Next one is National Rural Health Mission. The National Rural Health Mission NRHM, now under National Health Mission, is initiated on 12th April 2005. Main aim of this plan is to provide accessible, affordable and accountable quality health services even to the poorest households in the remotest rural regions. Accredited social health activist ASHA scheme is also operational under this scheme. It is run by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana. This program was launched on 2nd October 2007. It is a social security scheme for rural households. Under this scheme, one member of the family is covered. The premium of rupees 200 per person per annum is shared by the state and central government. The insured person need not to pay any premium in his or her age in between 18 years to 59 years. Another program, National Rural Livelihood Mission. This scheme was restructured from the Swर्ण Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana in 2011. National Rural Livelihood Mission, which is also known as Ajivika, is aimed to empower the women's self-help group model across the country. Under this scheme, government provides loan up to 3 lakh rupees at the rate of 7%, which could be lowered to 4% on the timely repayment. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, which is under National Rural Livelihood Mission, this was launched in June 2011 and run by the Ministry of Rural Development. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana under National Rural Livelihood Mission is a poverty alleviation program to promote self-employment and organization of rural poor. It was implemented by the Union Ministry of Rural Development with the objective of organizing the rural poor into self-help groups and make them capable of self-employment. However, it has a special focus on women empowerment. National Rural Livelihood Mission set out with an agenda to cover 7 crore rural households spread across 600 districts, 6,000 blocks, 2.5 lakh gram panchayats, and 6 lakh villages in the country through self-managed self-help groups in a period of 8 to 10 years. Next program, Roshni Skill Development Scheme for Tribals. The Ministry of Rural Development on 7th June 2013 launched a new skill development scheme designed to offer employment to tribal youth in 24 Naxal affected districts. The scheme, which is named Roshni, is supposed to provide training and employment to an anticipated 50,000 youths in the 10 to 35 years age group for a period of 3 years. As per the ministry, 50% of the beneficiaries of the scheme will be women only. The scheme is designed in light of the Himayat project model, which was launched in Jammu and Kashmir, has been implemented in Sukma, Chhattisgarh, and West Singhbhum, Jharkhand on a pilot basis. Next program is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 28th August 2014. It is a national mission with an aim to provide access to various financial services including remittance, credit, insurance, pension, banking, savings and deposit accounts in an affordable manner. Prime Minister Narendra Modi first announced this scheme during his Independence Day speech on 15th August 2014. With the outbreak of COVID-19 in India, the Finance Minister of India Nirmala Sitharaman made an announcement to provide Rs 500 per month to every woman Jan Dhan account holders for the next 3 months. This announcement was made on 26th March 2020 as an initiative towards the loss caused by the outbreak of COVID-19. Another program, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana. This is a placement-linked skill development scheme for rural poor youth. It was launched on 25th September 2014 by Union Minister Nitin Gadkari and Venkaiah Naidu on the occasion of 98th birth anniversary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay, which is known as Antyodaya Divas. The aim of this yojana, adding diversity to the incomes of rural poor families and cater to the career aspirations of rural youth. Second, to target youth under the age group of 15 to 35 years. As a part of the Skill India campaign, It has played an important role in the social and economic programs of the government like Make in India, Digital India, a Smart Cities and a Startup India, a Stand Up India campaigns. An amount of rupees 1500 crores has been provided for the scheme which will help in enhancing employability. The Yojana is present in 21 states and union territories across 568 districts and 6,215 blocks, changing the lives of youth. Around 690 projects are being implemented by 300 partners under this scheme. As per the government reports, over 2.7 lakhs candidates have been trained till now and nearly 1.34 lakh candidates have been placed in jobs. Next program is Swachh Bharat Mission. Swachh Bharat Mission was launched on the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi on 2nd October 2014 by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The concept of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is to pave access for every person to sanitization facilities including toilets, solid and liquid waste disposal systems, village cleanliness, and safe and adequate drinking water supply. The program is to be implemented by Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. An action plan was drawn up for the Swachh Bharat to become a reality by 2019, the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. The aim of Swachh Bharat Mission. The mission aims to triple the growth percentage of toilet from present 3% to 10% by 2019. The mission aim to cover 1.04 crore households, provide 2.5 lakh community toilets, 2.6 lakh public toilets, and a solid waste management facility in each town. Under the program, community toilets will be built in residential areas where it is difficult to construct individual household toilets. Public toilets will also be constructed in designated locations such as tourist places, markets, bus stations, railway stations, etc. The program was to be implemented over a 5-year period in 4,401 towns. Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. This program was launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the birth anniversary of Lok Nayak Jai Prakash Narayan on 11th October 2014. The supervising authority is Ministry of Rural Development for this program. Under this program, each member of parliament will take the responsibility for developing physical and institutional infrastructure in 3 villages by 2019. The aim of this program was to development in the villages, which includes social development, cultural development, and spread motivation among the people on social mobilization of the village community. Second aim to provide rural India with quality access to basic amenities and opportunities. And third aim, the outcomes will include 100% immunization, 100% institutional delivery, reduced IMR, MMR, and reduction in malnutrition among children. Next program, Heritage Development and Augmentation Yojana. This scheme was launched on 21st January 2015 under the care of the Union Ministry of Urban Development. The aim is to preserve and regenerate the rich cultural heritage of the country. In the initial phase of this Yojana, 12 heritage cities have been identified which will be regenerated and developed. Union government will provide 500 crore rupees to these 12 cities. The objectives of the scheme are planning, development and implementation of heritage sensitive infrastructure, service delivery and infrastructure provisioning in the core areas of the historic city, preserve and revitalize heritage wherein tourists can connect directly with the city's unique character, develop and document a heritage asset inventory of cities, natural, cultural, living, and built heritage as a basis of urban planning, growth, service provision, and delivery. Next objective, implementation and enhancement of basic services delivery with a focus on sanitation services like public conveniences, toilet, water taps, street lights, with the use of latest technologies in improving tourist facilities and amenities, and local capacity enhancement for the inclusive heritage based industry. Next program is the Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program. This is the sub-scheme under the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, which is under National Rural Livelihood Mission, having the objective of helping rural households, including women, to set up enterprises. The scheme was approved during 2015-16 and the enterprise formation started in 2017-18. As on 30th November 2018, a total of 30,352 enterprises were formed across 20 states where the scheme is operational. The objective of the scheme, a Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program, will be a focused intervention to promote a startup entrepreneurship at village level by rural poor households by providing assured availability of need-based financial support, capacity building, and advisory services for establishment of village enterprises. This scheme envisages creation of sustainable self-employment opportunities for a large number of rural poor youth, enabling them to engage effectively with the market and help generate wealth locally. In the process, this program will bring banks and financial institutions closer to the village entrepreneur. Next program, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. The Yojana was scheduled starting from 17th June 2015 to 31st March 2022 with agenda housing for all by 2020. Indira Awas Yojana revamped as Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana in 2016 is a welfare program created by the Indian government to provide housing to rural poor people in India. The goal of Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana to provide a home to all citizens until 2022. The cost of constructing the houses will be shared by the center and the state governments. The scheme has been implemented in rural areas throughout India except in Delhi and Chandigarh. Houses developed under this scheme will have basic amenities such as toilet, electricity connection, drinking water connection, and LPG connection, etc. The allotted houses will be jointly under the name of husband and wife. Next program, Syama Prasad Mukherjee or Urban Mission. This is a scheme launched by the Ministry of Rural Development in 2016 to deliver integrated project-based infrastructure in the rural areas, which will also include development of economic activities and skill development. The program was launched with budget outlay of Rs 5,142 crores to transform the rural areas as growth engines for development to provide sustainable development and urban facilities in rural areas. A predecessor to Syama Prasad Mukherjee or Urban Mission was the provision of urban amenities to rural areas PURA, which was announced in 2003. This scheme aims at developing 300 clusters at village level till 2020. For selection of clusters in various states, a scientific method of cluster selection involves an objective analysis at the district, sub-district, and village level of the demography, economy, tourism, and pilgrimage significance and transportation corridor impact. Based on this, Ministry will provide suggestive list to state government. Based on set principle, state government will then select clusters in districts and sub-districts. Next scheme, the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. The Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana is a government scheme launched in 2016 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The scheme envisages the distribution of 50 million LPG connections to women below the poverty line. It was launched with a budget allocation of rupees 80 billion. A total of 22 million LPG connections were distributed during the first year of its launch. The Finance Minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, announced on 26 March 2020 to provide free cylinders to the BPL below poverty line families for the next 3 months under the Ujjwala scheme. This announcement was made as an initiative towards the loss caused by the COVID-19 outbreak in India. Next one is the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. This was launched in the year 2016 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with the other provisions of the taxation law. It came into effect from 17th December 2016 under the Ministry of Finance with validity till 31st March 2017 and later was extended till June 2020. Now the updates on Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his speech on 30th June 2020 mentioned in the extension of the Garib Kalyan Yojana till the end of November 2020. Over 80 crore poor people are to be provided free food grains till November 2020, 5 kg of wheat and rice and 1 kg of pulses per family. The extension of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana is going to cost rupees 90,000 crores. Due to the outbreak of COVID-19 in India, the Finance Minister on 26 March 2020 had announced rupees 1.7 lakh crore Garib Kalyan package to mitigate the loss faced by the poor due to the coronavirus lockdown. Next plan, Gram Panchayat Development Plan, Sabki Yojana Sabka Vikas. The program was launched by Ministry of Panchayat Raj in October 2018. The aim of this plan was to strengthen the role of 31 lakh elected Panchayat leaders and 2.5 crore self-help group women under Din Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission in effective Gram Sabha and to connect rural people to the mainstream while keeping in focus the principle of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. One of the important programs is Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana, which was launched on 25th September 2018 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The objectives of the scheme are to reduce out-of-pocket hospitalization expenses, fulfill unmet needs, and improve access to identified families to quality inpatient care and surgeries. The scheme aims to provide annual health cover of rupees 5 lakhs to 10.74 crore beneficiaries' families, touted as world's biggest health insurance scheme, which would benefit over 50 crore Indians. Next program is Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan Yojana was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi under the Ministry of Labour and Employment in February 2019. It was launched at Bastral in Gujarat. This is the world's largest pension scheme. Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan Yojana is a central government scheme that is introduced for old age protection and social security of unorganized workers. The Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan Yojana is a voluntary and contributory pension scheme, which aims to provide security and protection to the unorganized workers as well as to the old age group, which includes street vendors, rickshaw pullers, agricultural workers, midday meal workers, construction workers, or workers in similar other occupations. Some of the benefits of the Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana provided to the beneficiary under this scheme is mentioned. They are provided with an assured monthly pension where each beneficiary will receive a minimum assured pension of 3000 rupees per month after attaining the age of 60 years. If the beneficiary dies during the receipt of the pension, 50% of the pension received by the beneficiary will be entitled to the spouse as a family pension. If a beneficiary has given regular contribution and died due to any cause before the age of 60 years, it will be entitled to join and continue the scheme subsequently by payment of regular contribution or exit the scheme as per provisions of exit and withdrawal. Other scheme, One Nation One Ration Card scheme. This scheme was launched on 1st June 2020 by central government, and this scheme will be managed by Food Corporation of India FCI. The objective of the scheme to allow migratory ration card holders to collect their entitled ration under public distribution system from any fair price of in the country by using the existing ration card issued in their home states. Next one is Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan, which was launched on 20th June 2020, and this was launched first in Khagadiya district of Bihar, and this scheme was launched under Atmanirbhar Abhiyan and Prime Minister's Vocal for Local program, and the objective of the scheme to provide immediate employment opportunities to return migrant workers in COVID-19 cases. Next program is Prime Minister Swanidhi Yojana, which was launched on 1st June 2020 by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. This is also known as Prime Minister Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi, and this scheme is under Vocal for Local program. The objective of the scheme, a special micro credit facility for street vendors to assess affordable working capital loan of 10,000 rupees, and the target group is to cover 50 lakh street vendors. Next program is Sahakar Mitra scheme, which was launched on 12th June 2020 by National Cooperative Development Corporation NCDC, and the objective, a scheme will help cooperative institutions to assess new and innovative ideas of young professionals while the interns will gain experience of working in the field to be self-reliant. So this presentation was all about rural development government schemes in India. Hope this will be very useful to all of you. Now my presentation ends here. Thank you very much. I have given here my YouTube channel details, Journey with Vijay Kumar Srivastava. Having request, please visit the channel, subscribe it, and provide your kind and valuable feedback for further improvements. Thank you.